Alright, what's up guys, it's KOSDFF here, and today I want to tell you guys about another retarded story from my college years and my time spent at UNC Charlotte. Now, I'm not going to be actually using real names in this video. A lot of the times before when I've told you guys these stories, I used everyone's real first names, and I'm going to leave them out because today's story involves something highly illegal. Alright, now anyone that's been to college and didn't come from one of those stupid rich families that would just give their kids all the money in the world and buy them nice cars and they never really had to worry about anything, unless you were one of those kids, college is widely considered them broke days. You usually don't have very much money. You're on that ramen and hot dog fucking diet. You can barely afford the meal plan. Books are almost unaffordable. And literally the $10 case of beer you can get at the grocery store is the only luxury that you can afford. Now, of course, this isn't everybody. There are a lot of rich kids in college and their parents buy them everything. And I feel so terrible for them because they're going to spend their whole lives trying to become as successful as their parents just to be able to afford a car that they gave them in high school. Well, one of my friends in college was particularly diabolical and would find all these little ways and all these little schemes to make money while we were in school. Now, I'll hand it to this guy. He really did put a lot of thought into some of these things and not so much in others, but it didn't stop our friends from taking advantage of all the dumbass little plans and schemes he would do. I remember one time he even went to work for Best Buy like right around Christmas, and if you've ever applied at Best Buy, you know that you have like this employee discount that you can buy like any other electronics at cost, but only after you've worked there for 3 months. Except for when you apply around the holiday season, they just go ahead and give you the discount because they find a lot of their employees will actually spend their entire paycheck buying big ass TVs. So what my friend would do is he'd go get a job there around Christmas and get TVs for fucking everyone and to like take a cut. So everybody would come to him and be like, yo, I want to buy this like $2,000 TV. He'd be able to get it for $1,000, but he'd charge them $1,200. And this is something that we all kind of regularly took advantage of. This little scheme is actually legal. Technically, you're really only allowed to buy the TVs and electronics for your family, but we would just all pretend to be his brothers and stuff like that. And he would just run in the front of the store, swipe his little card, and boom, we'd get electronics half off. It's actually how I bought a lot of the early parts of my setup. But really, I'm just telling you about this little Best Buy scheme to show you, give you a little foreshadowing of literally how diabolical my friend will be just to earn a couple $100. But just to clarify, dem with the broke days. And a couple $100 extra here or there in college is like ridiculous. It's like a whole month's worth of groceries or a whole month worth of partying, whatever you could think of. But all in all, that was some little ass money to my boy, and he hatched an even bigger scheme next year. So about 2 times a year, 3 times if you take summer classes, your college bookstore decides to rape you up the asshole and charge you hundreds of dollars for books just to have a college professor regurgitate it back to you in notes. And for a lot of college students that struggle financially, buying these books used or brand new is almost impossible, and a lot of people have to get summer jobs just to be able to afford them. Now, my books in school ended up costing like $700 to $1,000 usually per semester, and I also took summer classes, so you have to tack on a couple books there too. Now, you can buy them used and get stuck in that whole trap of buying and selling used books at the local bookstore where they give you fucking nothing and they resell them for hundreds of dollars, and the only way they get away with that is the new books cost even fucking more. But my friends started to notice there was a large population of students at our school that would just get money from their parents, go buy their books, and they could give a fuck less. There was even some students that would go tell their rich ass parents the price of their books brand new and then go buy them used and pocket the extra cash. And once my friend heard about this, he hatched this elaborate and genius plan to go work at the bookstore, find out what books people need, steal them, and then sell them out of the back of the store for cash. And he would sell them for an absolute fraction of the price. If you had 1,000 books, he would sell them to you for 100. And this bookstore was so fucking old, and he knew he could get away with it because he was the type of kid that never bought his books. He always stole them bitches and never paid for them once. And he figured, well, I might as well go work for the bookstore and use my talents to help plenty of other broke college kids and obviously get rich in the process. And well, that's exactly what he did. It started off with just me and our little group of friends, and we all gave him our list of books that we needed. He went and stole all those bitches and just met us back at our apartment, and we just gave him half the money that we gotten from our parents. And he didn't just do this one year, he did this a few times. Like whenever, I guess the semester starts, the bookstore always hires a whole bunch of extra people because that's really when they sell all their books. And he would just go work there for like 2 weeks, steal everyone's books and sell them to everybody and pocket all the cash. But then he took it really far. He actually started stealing a whole bunch of popular books and just putting them on eBay. And it was such a good racket, he ended up just raking in the cash and was just buying everyone everything and just like acting like a kingpin for the longest time. And I just remember being so impressed at how diabolical this guy was. We're all worried about getting in trouble with the school half the time when we do all these dumbass things, and here this kid is, he's going to work for the bastards and then stealing from them the whole time. And to be honest, a lot of us really didn't think it was all that bad because, well, we were saving a shit ton of money on our books, and all the money that we didn't give to the bookstore we were keeping. Now eventually I did feel kind of terrible about this, not because the bookstore was getting ripped off. Fuck those bastards. That's a fucking racket to take advantage of students, which is like one of the most profitable industries in America right now. Don't kid yourselves, the university system is very much a for-profit system. But I did feel bad because my grandparents were giving me the money to buy these books. Now the next semester when my friend was still pulling this dumbass scheme, I actually told my parents and my grandparents like his price for the books, and they're like, damn, I guess your classes this semester just weren't fucking shit. And I lied to them. I was like, yeah, all the books were like these printout pamphlets and they weren't a big deal because I only asked them for like $200, where I was usually asking them for like $1,000 to buy my books. But that first semester I did feel kind of shitty pocketing that extra $500, but let's face it, I only felt shitty for about 10 minutes because then I went and bought food and beer and went out to party and could actually like live comfortably for a little bit. And I was also shocked that the bookstore is just like letting this happen. How are they not realizing they're losing like $20,000 worth of inventory? Because this guy would steal a shit ton of books. Now I only ever saw him steal my books. Obviously I didn't work at the bookstore and I really never saw him like bring a whole bunch of books home or anything like that. He would just tell us all about it. I do remember the first time I went and got books, the first time he didn't actually bring the books back to us. He had us meet him at the bookstore because he had no way to actually get the books from his work without being really suspicious. And it was like this whole operation. We were using our phones like walkie-talkies. He was like, all right, pull up behind the bookstore and I'll call you, and then like 30 seconds I'm gonna pop out the back and you gotta come get the books. And that's exactly what we would do. We'd pull up there in like fucking 007 status. As soon as we get the call, we'd run out there and he would open the door just to crack, throw the books out, and we'd pick them all up and then run back into the car. And of course we spent like 10 minutes doing surveillance to make sure we wouldn't be on cameras and stuff like that. And back in the day, I guess they just didn't have those fuckers at the bookstore. Now they eventually ended up building a whole new building for the bookstore and it's this super secure place now, but back then it was just like below the cafeteria. Now I'm not telling you guys this story to give you any bright ideas, and I bet he's not even the only kid to ever think about that, because a lot of money flies around bookstores at the beginning of the semesters, and I just feel like there's some other genius kids out there that just wanted to go steal and rob from everybody, but did it in their own little nerdy way, aka getting a job at a bookstore. Alright, and just so you don't think my friend got away with this scot-free, which he kinda did because he never got caught by the bookstore, he never got caught by the school, he never got caught by the cops, so he didn't ever get in any real trouble. But he did have a partner in crime that was selling all the books online. And it was this other guy that would take all the books that he would steal and put them online, post all the pictures and sell them basically. Well, I guess there's no honor among thieves because that guy ended up stealing most of the money, leaving my friend with almost nothing. We all did kind of shun the other kid because he was a part of our group of friends, and he ended up getting kicked out basically, in a large part because of this, because you don't just rip off your friends. And he told us all, he was like, yeah, he was like, fuck it, I'm the one that sold all the books, all he did was steal and I'm not giving him shit. We're all like, that's kind of fucked, and we all eventually realized what an asshole he was, and he actually ended up getting kicked out of school. I think just for academic probation. It wasn't like he got in trouble for anything, but I think he did so bad in school, he had to take like a semester off and go home, and well, he just never came back. I think he ended up transferring to UNC Wilmington because obviously he had no friends back here at Charlotte and we didn't want him back. He totally ripped off our friend, and he really needed the cash for all this other stuff that he had bought from Best Buy on this stupid Best Buy credit card that he had. By the way, that's a fucking trap. Don't ever get that shit because no one pays that shit off in the period they give you, and if you don't pay it off, they hit you with all the back interest, which can double or even triple your debt sometimes, so please stay away from that trap. And that's what he fell into, and it was a really desperate moment for him, and we felt really bad for him because he had worked so hard to steal all this money. But I guess what goes around comes around. I hope you guys enjoyed another one of these stupid ass stories from my college years. This one wasn't particularly long, but I really wanted to tell you about this scheme because I just always thought it was fucking funny as fuck. Obviously extremely wrong. If he had gotten caught stealing, he would have been in a world of trouble with the police. He would have definitely got kicked out of school because you're stealing from the school. It would have ended his college career and made his life extremely difficult, but he got extremely lucky, and that almost never happens. But nonetheless, I wanted to tell you the dumbass story of how my friend made money in school and we saved a bunch of money on books. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow.